Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Let's go, yeah. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Two mics, two friends, one show, let's go. The Daps and Pounds show. This is the Daps and Pounds show. Yeah, you know.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's time. We've done it. We've gotten through the weekend, and now it is Monday morning. You're so happy to be here. I can tell. If you're on your way to school, if you're on your way to work, if you're sitting in your cubicle right now at your desk, guess what? I hope you get straight A's and a promotion. All of it. But just do it while listening to the best gosh darn podcast on planet Earth. As always, I am Malky. All right, to my right, we have
Dobie.
We represent two mics,
two friends,
and one show,
the Daps and Pounds show.
Episode 29.
Yeah.
We've done it. We're here. Guys, we're so thankful to have you here. Tell them where they can reach out to us.
As I take a sip of this wonderful Pepsi, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Daps_Pounds. It's really simple, all lowercase, Daps_Pounds. Hit us up there if you want us to review something. Hit us up there if you have a question for us. Hit us up there if you want to say, hey, what's up? Hit us up there if you want to throw some hate.
Yeah.
Hit us up if you want to throw us some thanks. Just hit us up.
Yeah, bring the hate too, by the way. I'm here for it. What's good?
Just hit us up. You can also find us on YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. I mean, you're either listening or watching, so you pretty much know. But if you're new, we have a little video on YouTube, so go and subscribe there. Or if you're listening to the podcast, oh shoot, man, I keep forgetting. I gotta figure out this whole Stitcher thing. They haven't emailed me back. I don't know what the heck's going on.
So is Stitcher currently broken then?
I don't know. I gotta.
Okay.
It's.
If you listen on Stitcher, hit us up.
I mean, I emailed it. I emailed to the contact, and I haven't heard anything back. So it's like, okay,
Stitcher,
well,
come on.
Figure it out.
Let's get it together,
I might
Stitcher.
look into what we can do to put it on Google Play.
Oh, okay.
That might be something to do too. I don't
Okay.
know. We'll find out.
We've got your back, guys. We're gonna find some type of way for you to listen to this.
Yeah.
But YouTube
And you can always
iTunes,
get it on our website too. You can download the podcast via our website, download it there. So anyways, I mean, those are the avenues you can hit us up on. We want to hear from you guys. We don't have any questions this week, and it's a sad day.
Guys, if there's anything you ever want to reach out to us about, just let us know. We'll definitely talk about it here on the podcast. No problem at all. And usually, for those new listeners that are just tuning in for the first time, welcome. But we kind of start this show off with something called Good, Bad, Bad. It's just a simple way that we can get into the week and you guys can know a little bit about what's going on with your host. So, Good, Bad, Bad. Do you want to go first?
I mean, bad. I think overall is just the political nonsense going on. It's just hard, man. Especially somebody who's a Christ follower, and you are taught from a biblical standpoint. Everybody in God's eyes is someone who is loved and cherished, no matter what color they are. I mean, He created all different races, all different personalities and everything, and so to show the love of Christ to people who don't look like us, talk like us, from a different culture, it's just hard to see so much hate out there just for stupid reasons. And I just hate politics, dude. I really hate politics because it just puts people, I think it brings out the worst in a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to. That's why I don't know if you saw the article, but Aziz Ansari, he said, I just got rid of my Twitter and email, and he said, I've been loving it.
Yeah.
And he said, if it's big enough, I'm going to hear about it. Mm-hmm. And it makes me think if that's created a lot less stress in his life. But it's hard because you feel like somebody in his position, wait, no, but you need to be on your social media game because that's how you're going to push your career and this and that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Something to think about because I'm just tired of reading it. And everybody has to say their opinion, whether it be good or bad. Sometimes I read too many opinions, you haven't even created your own opinion, but you know everybody else's.
Yep.
You know, so I would say that's a bad. Also, too, just stressing out about the house situation and trying to overcome like this idea of worrying and being anxious and stuff that you can't control, or you don't have any control over. That's just kind of a constant battle. Also, I mean, it's not necessarily like a bad, but something I've been working on myself is like my wife just says like, just the way I come across is super negative sometimes, and I don't mean to be, and so I'm trying to be a lot more conscious of just how you portray yourself, how you come across,
Right.
on a day-to-day basis, and whether or not I'm doing a good job or not is yet to be seen. I'm probably pretty bad at it, but good-wise, man, big is good. Honestly, God's good. All that's lovely. When we give you this bad, not to feel like we're being Debbie Downers, but mainly, and I think I told Malcolm this, just to reiterate though, the bad is an idea that we want to be as real with you guys as possible, and we don't want to present like this fabricated lifestyle, like how people on Facebook will only share good things. It's either that or you have that one person who only shares bad things. Like, there's not like there's not an equal balance. Good though. Sonic Mania.
I saw something on Twitter about this.
So,
tell me about it.
I mean, you've seen Brandon play it, the old school Sonic games, right?
Okay.
Well, this new game is designed like an old school game. So it's all 2D, straight platformer. Music is still on point. They threw in some old stages, remixed them a little bit, and I was grinning from ear to ear because it was bringing back so many memories.
So
man.
what is this going to be available on then?
It's available on PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch, and it will be available on PC next month, I believe, or the end of this month.
Okay. And how many hours have you put into it so far? Or wait.
Like 5.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well,
maybe honestly, actually, probably less than that. Probably like
that's
3 or
Sega,
4.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, Sega. Holler at us for an advertisement. We got your back.
Love Sonic.
Reach out to us. We'll connect you guys directly to the culture. So Sega, hit us up. All right, Daps_pounds. Sonic is one of those games that even me not being a gamer, it crossed over into my world when I would be out, go to the laundromat or something with my dad when I was little or whatever, play a little game. So
nice.
Shout out.
It's amazing. It's only $20. That's a good
that's
price
pretty
point.
Cheap. Yeah,
that's a good price point in today's market for video games. They did a great job. I haven't beaten it yet. I want to keep going back to it. Like I said, it's just bringing back so many good memories as a kid. I legitimately remember just smiling, just thinking, man, this is sweet.
That's what's up.
Like, this feels super good. And the one thing that people don't realize that why it's better, too, so old school games, right, the ratio was, 4:3?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So,
Yeah.
But it's a side scroller, right? So you're trying to see what's ahead of you. But now it being in a 16:9, you see so much more of the level. And so it feels even better than it did back then because you could see so much more of the level.
Cool.
But, man, yeah, nothing but good things about that. That's been super exciting, honestly.
That sounds fun, actually, man.
Yeah, man.
Sounds like a good time. Sonic.
Turn it over to you.
Wow. Good, bad. I echo your sentiments about the division that it feels like we have in our culture right now, in America. It sucks. It's never good to see. It's never good to read about. There's so many things. I mean, once again, like there's so many things that like my Twitter fingers want to go off about, but like at the same time, I don't want to ever be one of those people that talk about something without having a solution in mind.
That's a good point.
It's hard to criticize something when you don't necessarily have a solution. There's obvious solutions, but they take time and they don't what
You got new glasses.
You noticed? Yeah. I got new glasses.
I'm sorry, everybody, but he got new glasses.
I got new glasses. That's funny you noticed because I didn't think anyone would notice. You're the first person to notice. You're the first person to notice.
I didn't know. I got you.
Yeah, I got new glasses. I got like some brown joints on right now.
They look good.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So yeah, but that's bad. I would say that. Also, man, my heart this week. Ric Flair almost passed away.
Yeah.
He's still in critical condition.
He's not doing good. And just to think he was
No.
on sneaker shopping like a month ago.
Bro, not only that, this is SummerSlam weekend. So SummerSlam is maybe the second most important pay-per-view there is in pro wrestling other than WrestleMania. And he was going to be super involved in it. His daughter is a former women's champion. Like, it kind of goes through their entire family. So it's crazy. I just purchased a Four Horsemen t-shirt like 3 weeks ago. I had no idea this was going to happen. Four Horsemen was pretty much like his clique. Like, you have factions. The NWO is a faction. I've had that shirt before. There's tons of factions. But the Four
like
Horsemen.
That Xavier.
Yeah, the New Day. The New Day, so that's a faction. So all those are... Yeah,
only because he's a hardcore gamer. And I actually like
you
his
watch his
personality
Up,
a lot.
Up, Down, Down?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he hosted Kind of Funny Live 3.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Twitter. He's extremely into it. He loves it.
He's cool. I like him a lot.
His personality. He has a really good personality, and it's one of those things that transfer to the ring. But yeah, the New Day is a good example of a faction. The Four Horsemen was kind of like in the 80s and the early 90s, and it was like the older, like, rich class type of people, and Ric Flair with all of his gold on, his Armani suits and stuff like that. So the Four Horsemen kind of represents that lifestyle, and that was his character. And so I had no idea when I purchased it that he was going to get sick.
Wow.
And it's weird because so in wrestling, like, you have like the people that change the business. Stone Cold Steve Austin was huge. Probably,
right. Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's actually talked about, like, he's the most popular 90s wrestler. And then you have Hulk Hogan, which took it from being like circusy to being like
wasn't Hulk
crossover
first though?
everywhere. Hulk was the first person to like take it
Hulk and then
huge.
Steve, right?
Oh yeah. Steve took it to another level. Rock took it to another level with what he's done in movies. It kind of gave people like a plan B. And then
like this can be a stepping stone.
Right now,
kind of like with Xavier, like he created his WWE platform
perfectly.
to just be a entertainer. In
yeah,
general.
and not only that, now people are like, oh, I play football, I got cut. What do?
UFC fighter,
Get
I
in
got
UFC.
cut. What do I do?
Or go to the WWE. You have like
true.
those two options, and you have a long game now. Well, Rock did all those things. He played football, got cut by the Canadian League, got into wrestling, took it to move. Like, now there's like a long game, and wrestling's not just like one thing anymore. So, but Ric Flair is looked at as the greatest of all time just because he never branched out. Like, he never branched out into movies or anything, but in his sport, he holds the record. 16-time world champion. It's a big deal. So, man, we almost lost him. I was going to be really sad. And the 30 for 30 is planned already in November to come out. So I was thinking, like, bro, if he would have passed away, like, that
he
30 for 30. It's still touch and go. But
and I mean,
crazy.
they're not going to release the details on how serious it is.
No, but see, along with the lifestyle that his character lived, he lived it too.
Yeah.
And back then,
You can tell.
they didn't know steroids was like
Bad.
not necessarily. They were like, oh yeah, a little juice. He's like a 70s and 80s wrestler, so like popping all the time, popping pain pills all the time, because even though it's a predetermined sport, like
he's had a lot of chemicals in his body.
A lot
over
of
the
chemicals.
years.
Oh my gosh, he used to drink
His liver is probably
tons.
dead.
Yeah, so he lived a hard rolling life. But yeah, shout out to the Nature Boy, man. We almost lost him. I hope he holds out. He's like 70, so his time is gonna come before it doesn't. But at the same time, you just kind of hope. So yeah, my little wrestling heart almost broke this week. So that was a bad for me.
Yeah.
Good. I would just say that my sister turned 30 last week. It was a great time with her.
3-0.
Spending time. Makes you think about your own age, though. Like, I was thinking a lot about my age, and I was like, man,
It's going to be a weird year.
we're getting old.
27?
27, man.
What a weird number.
27. We're getting a little long in the
Are we doing a
tooth.
cruise, you said?
I want to do a cruise soon. Let's do a cruise.
I want to do a cruise.
I want to do a cruise.
I'm so down for a cruise.
I want to go to Mexico within the next couple years.
Mary said Mexico's awesome.
I see, and I've never been to Mexico, but I just want to travel more. Shout out to Brandon and Leash. They just got back from Niagara Falls, and they loved it. They were in Toronto. Brandon said there's some really ugly people in Toronto. I was really surprised because I heard a thing that said Toronto women are supposedly ranked like...
Yeah, they were hiding from him.
Yeah. They knew Brandon was in town, so they hid from him because Brandon's repug. But yeah, I don't know, man. But good is just realizing how blessed we are with getting older. Life is good. So,
We're in good positions, man.
Yeah. Can't complain about too much. But yeah, guys, that was our good, bad. Now we are going to get into our favorite part of the episodes, which are new music. Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful. We're gonna give you that
new music.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Who does that yell like that?
I don't know.
There's somebody I feel like that does that.
Is he
yell
famous? Or is it a female?
I think it's what's his name? Tory Lanez.
Yeah, I was bumming G-Eazy and Machine Gun Kelly on the way here to record the podcast. I want them to all get in a fight. Your skin tone does look whiter. Listen, I want them all to get in a fight and just eliminate each other.
It's Hunger Games. Like the whole entire country's really excited about it for something so terrible.
I'd be so excited. So guys, new music came out this week. We had 2 big hip hop releases. That would be Dave East and ASAP Ferg. Also, Kodak Black snuck in there. And from what I saw on Twitter, I don't think that Kodak was supposed to drop, or people didn't know.
Whatever.
I heard that people didn't know that he was
Kodak,
dropping.
man.
So he dropped Project Baby 2. Yes, that is an actual title. And along with our boy, those are the 3 biggest hip hop releases. But as far as overall releases, the thing that's going to get the most attention is going to be Justin Bieber. All right. He dropped Friends. New single called Friends. Now, I don't know if this is a collaboration or it's an actual single leading to an album. What do you think? I don't know.
I think he's got a lot of music stored up.
I do too.
He's a creator.
I do too. The only reason I asked that is because he recently, canceled the tour, said he's exhausted, type of thing. That's why I was surprised by this, because I was like, oh.
You know what I think it was? You know what I think it was? I think he was tired, but I think he's in a place where he felt like he needed to be around people like Judah Smith. Like, he was having them out on his tours in Sweden and stuff, and now you see him and he's hanging around them, and I think they were feeding his spirit, and I think he's realizing that I think he's realizing how that fellowship can do something to you, and I think he's realizing that his friends that he had weren't really truly great friends.
I agree.
And I think he's just trying to grow as a person.
It would be so weird to be friends with Justin Bieber.
I would love it. I think I would love it.
I don't think I could do it.
I could.
I don't think I could do it.
Why?
He just, as a person, I'm not there with him yet. I don't know how annoying he'd be.
I'm pretty annoying.
Well, there you go. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know. But yeah.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Like, you did that? Like, everybody knows what that tune is.
I don't know what that tune is myself. So, I don't know why I expect it. It's like, I heard it was like I want like a late night comedy show one day when I get older.
I hope we remember that.
In my head, in my head, it was like an 80s, like, when they come back from
like
break.
Seinfeld?
No, like when they come back from a commercial break on like a late night TV show. It's like, ding, 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 ding. Hey, Laura. Hey, Martha. I don't know.
And we're back here for the Daps and Pound show. Today we're going to be talking about Justin Bieber. Can you be his friend? Yes or no? Time for some new music. Besides Justin Bieber, he came out with his new single, Friends, featuring Blood Pop. It is a catchy pop hit, which we do believe will be #1. Maybe we can do it. But I like it. What did you think of the record?
I thought it was pretty good. Now, I don't think that it will last as long as some other things, just because, I mean, when you compare it to his other catchier hooks, I don't know if it'll last as long. Love Yourself is like one of the most catchy songs.
Yeah, but I'm
period.
thinking...
I think it's going to be big. I mean, it's Justin Bieber. It's going to be big.
I was thinking of kind of like the David Get a Song, the one with DJ Snake. I think it's gonna do as good as those. Where he was featured. I mean, it's pretty much the same kind of lane.
Yeah, it's the same lane. But I think Cold Water is catchier. Cold Water to me
It was produced by Diplo.
Nuts. Yeah.
But Cold Water is good, but I actually like the one with DJ Snake more.
Really?
Yeah. Anyways,
I like them both.
Bieber.
I like them both.
I like Bieber. I'm a belieber, so I'm down.
I
also don't think Justin Bieber's going
in
to start
Bieber.
his own church. I don't believe it.
No, I don't think that's. I think they
Worship leader Justin Bieber.
No. No. The world. Yeah, but I think it was a good song, honestly. Like it was a good little record, and I think that it has all of the catchiness to be big. What?
Just clickbait our whole video, episode 29.
Justin Bieber worship leader.
Justin Bieber worship leader? Question mark.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down. So he dropped that single. It's gonna be big. We know it's gonna be big, but let's see what happens with it, and let's see if this is going to be just a Lucy, or if it's going to be a part of a larger Bieber album type feel. Honestly, if he put out an album with this dude, or if he put out a whole album with Guetta or Diplo or something, I'd be here for that too, to be honest with you.
With Diplo, it'd be nuts. I want to see him work with Pharrell.
I would too. I don't think he's ever worked with him.
Nope.
To my knowledge.
Nope.
Okay, so Paranoia came out. Paranoia is, now, this is weird because he dropped the Kahari mixtape, he's calling it, last year. And we're like, okay, album's coming. Then he dropped this today called Paranoia, A True Story. It's 13 songs long, and he's calling it an EP. He's not actually calling it an LP. He's saying that this still isn't his debut album. Now, I think that can kind of hurt him because it has enough songs to be an album.
Yeah.
And it's put together like an album.
Don't put skits with your kid on it if you ain't gonna
say, whenever you have skits, it makes it seem like this is like a piece together
an album
thing. I honestly think, and this is coming straight from what they talk about on Everyday Struggle and Complex News, that Def Jam doesn't necessarily know what they're doing with Dave East. And so they're just kind of like, every artist wants to put out maybe one mixtape and then an album. That's just kind of how the flow goes. But now he's put out a mixtape, this 13-song EP, which is a large EP.
Yeah, it should have been like 4 songs.
Yeah, EPs are usually like anywhere from like 3 to 6, maybe.
Yeah.
Now he's going to put out a debut album, I guess, next year, he said. So we'll see, man. There's a couple things on here that I do like. One thing I will say, Dave East has a great voice, but at times he can get too monotone.
Yes, 100%.
But I like it's deep. It's like, it's a good voice, but everything can kind of it can just kind of go in a line too much. But I think he can rap his butt off, but it's just a little too monotone.
Now, did you feel like, though, he had a song where the beat and he was rapping and you felt like he was just going in? Because I didn't feel that way.
Phone Jumping. I thought he went in on Phone Jumping. And I thought he went on The Hated, but I thought The Hated, something was off about the hook. Like, it was weird. That song was the arrangement of that was weird. But I liked his bars on that. Everything else felt like he was just kind of floating.
The Hated.
Floating on the beat a little bit. So yeah, he's extremely New York, extremely
I hate New York
street hip hop. Really?
Yes.
I love
Besides
New
Harry
York
Fraud, some of them are just blah.
I like it just because I grew up on a lot of it, but there's a huge difference. I guess there's a huge difference in mood too. Like, I'll listen to this, I'll go back to this for sure and just walk around to this or play it in the gym or something like that. But I won't turn up to it. You know what I mean? It's not like club or anything like that. Did you have any track off of this that was your favorite at all? Maneuver?
Featuring French.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Maneuver
because Harry Fraud killed the beat. Yeah.
Mine's probably Phone Jumping with Wiz. That's my favorite right now. But I'm going to go back to it this weekend. And
I like hearing Jeezy, I will say that.
Yep.
I miss Jeezy's voice.
I'm glad those two Crips could link up. They're both gang members.
Shout out to the shout out.
Shout out to the shout out. So Project Baby 2, we just discussed him. It's Kodak Black's. This is technically his like third project, I guess, overall. And
I'm not gonna go back to it, but I didn't mind it. Like, I get it. It's just not for me, but I get why like a lot of people like him. I hate his interviews. I can't stand him. I feel literally dumber when I'm done. But I thought this project, to me, was more solid than his last one. And I don't know why. Don't Want to Breathe. I don't know why I like that song. I don't know why. It's so weird. It makes me laugh when I say it out loud. XXXTentacion, Roll in Peace, I actually thought that was actually a decent feature by him. Like, I was surprised.
My favorite song is Built My Legacy featuring Offset. Now that's more for Offset than it is Kodak because I'm becoming like a big Offset guy. But I don't think I'll go back to it. I don't think so. Unless I'm going back to it to try to listen to something.
You should. I don't know why I listen to him because I don't like certain voices just turn me off.
That is a fact.
I learned white rapper voice just turns me off. Like that guy, Farrah.
Oh.
White. I liked it. But then there's people who don't. I don't know. I'm weird, man. I'm a picky dude.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
Everywhere.
Oh, yeah. ASAP Ferg. By the way, does anyone have Offset's up there? It's starting to come for Offset for sure. But does anyone have a better intro to a bass drop than Roo, 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 than ASAP Ferg? Offset. Woo, woo, woo. That.
Why don't they just come out with a song together called Ooh,
oh,
Ooh?
gosh. I'm not ready for it.
Ooh, ooh. Can you imagine just each of them come in? That's the chorus. And it's just like, yo, I'm here. And then they just do the intro.
Bro, there's a way
here.
I can see Ferg doing something like that and it being dope. I feel like Ferg is our new Busta Rhymes as far as...
Dude, 100% agree.
Coming on things and being so different.
Only because I listened to the the East Coast remix.
And that East Coast remix. Now, I will say, that's what Dave East shines at. Those remixes where he's not asked for melody, he's not asked to do a theme, he can just spit. He was like, man. He
got Rick Ross on it easily. Rick Ross is actually weak on that one.
Yes, he was. And
Busta Rhymes came out swinging.
No, so did you watch Everyday Struggle today?
No, I didn't get a chance.
Okay, so he said that he sent it to him, Busta recorded it. And Busta and him have like, I guess like a good relationship. So Busta calls him and goes, yo, man, I'm sending it back now. I just murdered it. So Ferg's like, oh, word, and listened to it and went back and rewrote his last verse because Busta just bodied it so much. So, dude, I completely agree. I think that Busta, we know him from just being different and weird on tracks and having these different deliveries, these off beats, and Ferg is... the dope beats and the dope things and the inflections in his voice, like, that's his style. He doesn't have a style.
He does what Kendrick does.
Yes, yeah, he does 100%. What Kendrick does too.
Because he'll be rapping like, can I come again?
Yeah. It's
let me go.
It's so.
And then.
It's just so different.
Yeah.
My favorite song right now is probably "Oh Yeah" featuring Lil Yachty. But that East Coast remix is.
The Mattress remix was my least favorite. I expected
a lot. I think I expected
like
too much. When I saw it on the list, I was like, "Oh, let me go," and I get that first.
What did you think about Tango? Because that was like ASAP Ferg was like real on that one.
I liked it. I liked Tango a lot. And honestly, the Plain Jane gets stuck in my head. And I cannot wait to see like videos on Instagram of him performing that because crowds are gonna. He made it so sing-songy the chorus that crowds are gonna know every word.
I think
it's gonna be a moment. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know
how
he's gonna push it.
Like Shaba ranks like.
Okay, I'll
like,
go there.
You know,
I'll go there.
it wasn't
I'll go
like
there.
a
Okay,
number
yeah.
one hit, but like in the hip hop community,
in that sense, I think you're right. Yes.
in the hip hop community, that was a hit. You know what I mean?
I think Oh Yeah, Plain Jane, and if they do a video to Nasty, because for some reason Migo videos are a lot of what get people to like their stuff a lot more, I think.
Migo!
And if they do a video to that one, I think that's gonna be big too.
Dude, you want to talk about? I feel like Migos was like Drake or Lil Wayne back in the day, where like everybody was featured. Migos are what Lil Wayne was for a while.
That's the run. This is their
It's their time. They're the kings.
2007, 2008 run.
Like Kendrick is considered the king, but in my opinion, so far, 2017, hands down belongs to Migos.
Yeah, and the end of 2016 2015 capped everything off, and people were like, "It's Drake." Like Drake's the guy. 2016, you had.
This is a good conversation to segue into one of our topics that we'll go talk about later.
Okay. So I'll pause it. I'll pause it. But still striving. He's calling this a mixtape too. He's calling this like a project. He's not calling this an album.
It feels like an album.
We'll see.
Shop and Dream was good too. I can't call these mixtapes anymore because, like, in my opinion, mixtapes were released on Dat Piff. They weren't all original music. The samples all weren't cleared.
Yeah.
Now it's all original music. All the samples are cleared. Yeah. There's no distinction anymore. These aren't remixes. He said that
he doesn't know the difference. He just said that an album for him, and this is kind of like what we said was the problem with Dave East. Yeah, he said there's a theme, there's a story, and there's things connecting it, and there's skits, which makes Dave East not calling this now wild. But yeah, still striving, man. ASAP.
I actually really like that cover art.
I know it's so dope.
I don't know why, but it's simplistic. Like, it's black culture.
It's simplistic.
You know?
It's just easy to like.
So ASAP Ferg's still striving. If you like ASAP Ferg, you'll like it, man.
Yes, you will definitely like it.
100%.
If you like ASAP Ferg.
I did listen to Mozzie.
There's
up at the top, one up, top Ak.
Yep.
No thanks.
There was a song.
I just didn't. I was like, whatever.
I can't remember the song without playing it.
I skimmed I was just, my AR ear was trying to listen for something like catchy, something that stood out, something that make a beat, anything, and there was nothing.
Yeah, I mean it's. I can't remember the song. There's one song that I thought was decent, but for the most part, I think this is going to be pretty forgettable. And if I can't remember the song title, then that means that it probably is pretty forgettable, and I probably won't go back to it. But let us know what you think.
Mozzie.
Let's see here. What we got?
Did you listen to Lil B?
I listened yesterday to Lil B.
Thoughts? I couldn't do it.
He put out I try to be nice to Lil B because he does follow me on Twitter and 1.5 other million people.
Right.
So I try to be nice.
Only one, but that's still 1.5.
Try to be nice. It's trash, but I don't know. Listen, I say that with 100% thank you for the follow. I don't follow you back, but thank you. And
it's
I like
low quality music.
Yeah.
I would say it's Trinidad.
Yeah, it's Trinidad. I have to say that. I thought I love McConan feature was random, but yeah.
Lil B, man. I mean, without him, we wouldn't have what we have today.
We wouldn't have a lot of what we have today. That's very true, but
he feels like the Godfather that is just stuck.
Yeah.
Like he's already overrun, but he's still. It's weird. Like he didn't increase. Like his skill never increased, and now people have taken it to the next step.
He had a cult following with a fan base that was about 85-90% white college kids. They love Lil B. It wasn't the black dudes in the hood that liked Lil B. It was them. So they put him on this pedestal, and I think he thought he was bigger than what he was, and it's just kind of like. What do you want to do now? Ellen DeGeneres. It's just no.
I own degenerates.
Let's see here. Was that all the big albums? Oh, Reconcile. So you kind of like this project. It's called Streets Don't Love You by Reconcile. This is my first intro into this artist.
Yeah.
But you kind of feel like this is a.
I think he's needed. This is a guy who I literally feel like somebody. Okay, so like, of course, like we don't shy away from like our relationship and our faith to Jesus Christ, whatever. But anyways, he's a Christian rapper. But I feel like it sounds like he is about as authentic as they get with somebody who comes from like the streets. Like I mean, you know what I mean? Like it feels like it's a good, like he's in an interesting line. Sometimes though, you kind of are trying to figure out where he's going. Not gonna lie. Like what his standpoint is on some of them, but I don't know. There's something about him that stands out to me because like, you remember last week we listened to so many beats like this guy's making, like these trap, like street, quote unquote street songs, and they just were just blah, like nothing stood out to you. But I think this guy stood out. So if I was listening, I wish this came out last week, really, because I mean it's gonna get shined. It's not gonna get as much shine as I think it should. Especially being where it is today, but I was surprised, man. I wasn't mad at all.
So I like the Corey Paul feature on the song "Free My Soul."
He's good.
Corey Paul's dope. I like Corey Paul a lot. How do you feel about the Christian rapper labels putting out explicit content albums? Because there is I was watching Andy Minio's live stream on IG yesterday, and him and Words Played were up at the Sirius offices, and they were talking about the political world. They were talking about everything, and they were talking about, you know, that constant battle of, do you want to be considered a rapper who just so happens to be Christian, or you want to call yourself a Christian rapper? And this kind of came up. I personally think it's a really slippery slope. I think it's a very tight rope to walk. So if I were an artist, I probably wouldn't do it. But they make a good case. You know what I mean? Like, they make a good case for, is it better to be authentic and not call yourself a Christian rapper and do the work that you're supposed to be doing anyway, or hold yourself in these walls and be kind of pigeonholed to a standard and not put out maybe better music?
The issue I think people are seeing, there's a difference between walls and accountability.
Sure.
And I think there's that's where the fine line is made.
Sure.
Now in scripture there actually is a point where I learned in Ezekiel, the prophet at some point, now it's of course Hebrew back then, but he used a word that was very taboo back then, which basically meant like crap. But I asked my professor, I was like, this was meant to be derogatory. Was this basically a cuss word back then? And he's like, yeah, it was. But the way it was presented was he was basically saying, your idols that you believe in are pieces of like, he went that far. And so it was like, the reason for his language was to emphasize of how much this stuff is worthless.
Right.
So there was kind of a meaning behind it, and of course that started a debate in us and whatnot. My dogs are going crazy upstairs right now. But I don't. The thing is, you have to ask yourself: is it necessary?
Yeah, and like I said,
cussing is honestly cussing's not cool.
There's a
Do you believe that? I mean, cussing, you know what I mean? It's like not cool. It's not
when you
cool.
Say not cool, do you mean? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Cussing, like if you say it, it's not, it doesn't make it better. In some cases, I think it makes it worse. I think it's just interesting too.
Well,
how society also says professionalism means not using that language.
Yeah.
So,
and that's something that I'll go with only because now that we're older, I'm seeing how people operate, and it's kind of like when you're a little kid and you have a substitute teacher and they curse in front of you to like make you feel like they're on your level or make you feel like cool. You go, oh my gosh, the teacher just said this, and it's just like, whoa, and it's this whole thing. But I feel like it limits us. I feel like there's so many other words that you can use to describe how you're feeling or describe things. It takes words that are awesome out of we have to talk less. And I think that's the damaging part of curse words, because you're just limited. You're just putting in, oh, this is my one thought, when you could have said something that made someone actually understand you. You can call someone an a-hole and they'll be like, oh, that's offensive. I'm going to shut down your entire argument now because you called me that. Or you can explain to them why or how they are, and they go, oh, you're kind of right. You know what I mean? So I think that's where the curse word debate kind of gets shifty. I think it's interesting. I think people are going to come at Lecrae. I think people are going to come at Corey. I think people are going to come at the rappers that they put on this pedestal, and they're going to want them to not say that this is okay. But remember, it's interesting. It's I believe in authenticity.
Be in the world and not of the world.
Exactly. And
now,
I believe in authenticity.
I have a language issue when I'm playing video games. Like, I do. And I'll fully admit that. But I know that's, for me personally, that's who I feel like I do not need to be, nor do I need to be a part of that. Because, one, I'm not good enough to even complain about losing at video games. And so... I don't know. It's interesting,
and I just wanted to pose that question as a interesting little combo for the podcast listeners to listen to, because I feel like the people who listen to this podcast who have heard us talk before are like, oh yeah, those guys consider themselves to be Christian, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit to spark them maybe having questions in the future, or them a platform.
I just think that you really need to think, like, does using that language push the
narrative that you want to press and represent?
But it's still interesting too, because now we're getting to a point in society where certain cuss words don't, like Kendrick Lamar's album doesn't mean as much anymore, but people still won't say, call a lady the C word, like that's still super taboo. Like even
that's wild.
People are like, yo, like, what did you just say? So I think our society has a lot of double standards for certain things. And, if you, in my opinion, sometimes if you question it, maybe it's best just to not go that route.
That's a good way to say it. It's a good way to say it, if you question it.
Anyways, let's move on. What else we got?
So our boy, Gold Link, Crew is easily the best song on his album that he put out earlier this year. And he put out an EP full of remixes. If you like the song, there's like an outdoor version. There's a version that's like samba. There's a version that's slowed down. Not quite R&B, but slowed down. And there's original. There's a Gucci Mane feature. So shout out to him. I liked all of them just because I love that song so much. Did you listen to anything else album-wise?
No.
Okay. So we're going to go to the Loosey Goosies.
Not a lot.
We had the single from Justin Bieber that's going to be a monster on the charts. We know that. Miley Cyrus, she dropped a single that's trash to me.
That's whatever.
She's trash. So I just can't get into her music.
No. She ain't that good.
We Can't Stop was hard. And then there was like one other song on that album that was hard. I can't remember it. But everything that she does without Mike Will isn't that good to me, so I'm not feeling Miley Cyrus. I'm sorry. Gucci Mane, he comes back, lets us know that he's putting out an album called Mr. Davis. This is I don't even know what number project this is. He just dropped a project with Metro Boomin like 3 months ago. But this feels like it may be an actual. I don't know. I don't know what this is, but it's going to be called Mr. Davis. It's a project of some sort.
Takeoff went off.
Yo, Takeoff is trying to prove something. The recent features I've heard Takeoff on, it feels different. It feels like Takeoff is coming right now.
I'm gonna rap it however long I want to rap, so don't tell me differently. Also,
the song's called "I Get the Bag," by the way.
Quavo is running out of melodies because this is slippery.
He is. Yo, by the way, that the national anthem.
Oh my
parody.
gosh, that was
Did you hear the one that's to music?
Yes.
Okay, because there's one without the music in the background, and then there's one like with a beat drop in, and it starts. And bro, it's so good. Like I can't get over it. It's so good. I do think he's running out of. I kind of want Quavo to do the same thing I want Travis Scott to do, and just stop with the features for a minute, because we know your album's gonna be great, but we just need you to, do
your thing.
Yeah, do your thing. But yeah, I like this
And
song
Gucci
personally.
Man, I thought had a great verse too.
Brr.
That part where he says, like something, baby.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
the
yeah,
end-
yeah.
He changed up his flow.
Gooch is I just love Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane and Rick
Yeah,
Ross to
don't
me
call
are
him
so
Gooch.
important.
That feels weird. That sounds weird.
I like Gooch. Sound wild. Hey yo. Shout out to Gucci Mane.
Yo.
Shout out to Migos.
I always forget what it is now.
Let's see what else came out. Shania Twain dropped a record.
No, like
I
singing
think
with
it's-
my eyes closed, more like listening with my ears closed.
Bang, bang. Yo, why is Alicia Keys falling in the hot tracks?
Because John Legends is too. Apple pushed it because of their
yeah, that's true.
of their whatever thing.
Carpool karaoke?
Carpool karaoke.
I like that show, by the way.
Yeah, it's
funny.
great.
Makes me laugh. Okay, now Fetty Wap. He dropped a song called
Oh,
"There
I
She
didn't
Go."
listen to this yet.
Listen, I haven't liked a Fetty Wap single in a very long time. I like this.
Oh,
this
I wanna
feels
hear it.
like the Fetty Wap we were supposed to get right after his first album.
Is it Monty's
This-
verse good too?
I mean, it's Monty. No, it's just
Monty had some good parts.
it's no.
Yes, he did. I'm trying to remember which one it was. His flow was better than Fetty's. It was on one song.
My Way. You like
Yes.
his My Way?
Yes, I do.
Then you might like this. You might like this then. If you liked his My Way verse, you might like this.
I'm like, she fine. Wondering if you'll be.
But yeah,
mine.
go get that Fetty Wap because I like that. So Chris Brown, questions. Do you like this song?
I didn't.
Girl, I
I
got a
forgot.
question for you. Came
didn't
out on
listen to
Wednesday
it.
actually.
I forgot.
So he's taken from Kevin Little. The Let Me Love You, Come Caress My Body, You Got Me Going Crazy, Turn Me On, Turn Me On. He's doing that whole thing. Which that song, by the way, in a club still goes crazy. Song's amazing. He takes the flow. He takes a couple bars from it and he kind of makes it a Chris Brown thing. It's gonna be his most upbeat, like happy single that I've heard in a long time. But I don't mind it. I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's a smash Chris Brown hit. In fact, I don't know if Chris can do that anymore without getting with like David Guetta or something like that. I don't know if he can put out a smash R&B like hit where he's number one like Deuces or anything like that.
Oh,
anymore.
yeah, that song was so
I don't.
good.
I don't know if he can do that. I really don't know if he can do that anymore. But
I mean, he's got too much drugs in his system.
true.
What do you
But
think about the Chris Brown, Rihanna? interview?
The documentary? I watched the documentary, and I thought that I applaud him for going into detail because
It makes a lot more sense.
I felt like it was genuine.
100. I felt like that was honest.
Yeah.
That's exactly, in my opinion, that's what happened.
I feel like it was genuine because by getting into detail and especially saying it happened more than once and saying things you actually did, then it's like you're not making yourself look good.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously like you're
he
not.
said he closed fist punched
Yeah.
her. Like
And also a lot
Rihanna
of
savage
things.
though for what she did, grabbing.
Well, I can see her being.
And while he's
Being
driving, that
crazy.
makes so much more sense with like everything. Like
Well, see, the thing is, I hate it when a story.
makes sense, not justified.
Okay.
'Cause, like, I'm not,
Disclaimer.
I don't want to say like, oh, it makes sense why he beat her to. Never mind.
No, because he rocked her like.
He knows he was
Yikes.
wrong.
But I hate when a domestic violence thing comes out and then the dude's like, he acts like it's just this one time. So I appreciated the fact that Chris Brown was like, no, this has happened before. Like, we went through a
It's just
period where it
escalated.
was all the time. And I liked that. I don't like that it happened, but I liked it because he was owning that, hey, this was problem. And his language that he used was really good because he said, oh, you're going to do this. Now I'm going to get evil. Now I'm going to get mean. Like, he was saying, like, yeah,
knows.
he let himself get taken over. And, like,
That was so crazy.
he didn't just try to
marry her,
sugarcoat
dude.
it. I know, yeah.
Can you imagine?
They were our
Jay-Z,
generation, Jay-Z,
Beyonce.
Beyonce. They were going to be, my age.
That's
but,
wild.
Uh,
Chris Brown was the G then, dude.
Oh, Chris Brown could have been, I'm not going to say he could have been Michael Jackson, but
He was on top.
He was the closest thing we had.
He was on
to
top,
Mike.
man.
But yeah, I thought that was an interesting little doc. I'm not gonna lie to you. Did you listen to any other singles?
Yeah, the Ayo.
Ayo and Teo.
Ayo and Teo.
Ayo and Teo. Listen, they are directly in the Race Trimmer lane.
What was that name again of that one?
Of the actual song?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I had to go to find it. I had to go to genres, not just that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Just typing in Ayo. Better Off Alone.
Better Off Alone.
I'm doing John Cena. That's where I was like, why does this sound familiar?
Listen, I think they're directly in the Race Trimmer lane. I want them to beef with each other. I think the diss records would be hard, personally. Yeah. I like beef, so. Would you like a beef?
No.
You wouldn't like a beef between them? It'd be fun.
Maybe yes, only to hear Slim Jimmy's first.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. He would go hard.
I don't care what anybody
Imagine-
says. Slim Jimmy is such an entertainer. If you don't believe me, go to his, what was it? Is it Hot 97 or was it Breakfast Club?
It was the Breakfast Club. He was wearing a pink
fur coat. Oh
it was
my
like polar
God.
bear, or it was like
We were texting each other laughing emojis about the whole thing because it's so funny.
I was like texting you, and I was texting my sister, and when I texted my sister, I was like, "Yo, this can't be like." There's no publicist involved. Like there's, when artists go out to radio stations, they send a publicist, a PR. There's no one there. Like they can't. And if they were there, they were knocking on the window like, "Yo, stop." Some Jimmy's next level.
If we gonna have Ray Sherman or if we're gonna have, what did he say? If we're gonna have, why am I blanking on the dude's name now? If we're gonna have Sway Lee on the hooks, we'd be good.
Oh, we gonna be all right if we put Sway Lee on every hook.
He knows.
Oh yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's like, you ain't never heard anything just from me. You don't know.
I like his accent too, because a lot of accents get lost when you rap, and I think his accent's funny because on Perplexing Plexus, he gets super country at the end because he was like, "If you don't know the name, I put it on my chain." I'm just like, what?
I think they like being country because all their videos are in like rural areas. Like that one where they had the country club.
I like that.
That video was
video's
great.
Lit. That's
I
a
love
dope
that video.
So yeah, Ayo and Teo put out this song, and I think that they're in the Ray Trimmer lane. I want them to beef. Decent song. I'm not going crazy over it,
It was good.
but it was decent.
It's a good follow up, I think. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it, man.
All right, guys, that's all for new music. If we missed anything, let us know. But in the meantime, we're going to move right along. This is just going to be a quick discussion piece, but Drake, all right? Drake is off of the Billboard Hot 100 list for the first time since 2009.
8 years.
What does that mean to you, sir?
I think he's gonna be in the top 5 discussion, but I think that just means like right now his like reign's done. As number 1. I think he's still overall he's the number 1 artist, but this just ain't his year. Like it's Migos and then Kendrick, and 2016 wasn't Drake really either. It was for a while, but it ended with Chance.
Sure. Yeah.
And so he started falling off, and then More Life came out. And I thought that was, honestly, the fact like Passion Fruit or any of those signs, like that's not, now, mind you, it might just be dropped to like 102, something like that. But,
Right.
But the fact like none of those are in there, to me also says he didn't push it. There was no music videos for, think about that.
And I recently had this argument with my sister that you're right, he didn't push it. There's no videos. But another half of that is with the Views Project, he kind of and with Hotline Bling, he ushered in a little bit of different Caribbean sounding mixed with the hip hop, mixed with the singing, right? Well, everybody started going that route.
That's true.
So the impact of More Life isn't going to feel the same when you have Tory Lanez making Control and people loving that version, and like you have other people making songs like that. Then it deludes some of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that has something to do with why they aren't staying. If none of those other people were making records like that and he put out More Life, I feel like those records would be lasting longer.
More Life was for a tour.
I mean, I still am a big fan of More Life.
Yeah, I agree,
love
but
it.
no videos.
No
None.
videos, no.
He needed something.
I mean, but same thing with If You're Reading This Is Too Late, and More Life has
He
more
put out
hits.
Energy.
He did put out Energy. That's
That was
one.
a music video.
But there's no hits on If You're Reading This It's Too Late like there are on More
Know
Life.
Yourself.
Know Yourself was big, but if we're comparing it to Passion Fruit, if we're comparing it to Fake Love, I think he's getting traction on Galchester a lot right now. I just think that the music on More Life was
he could have
bigger.
made a dope music video too.
Oh, I think so too.
Anyways, but it's just not. I mean, in my opinion, the way I see this, like when Jay-Z like wasn't rapping as much, did people think Jay-Z lost his touch? Some people said yes, but then he comes back out, and I'm waiting for that Kingdom Come album though. Because I'm wondering, is that gonna happen with him?
No.
You don't think so? We'll find out. I'm not trying to.
I think Drake is more creative than Jay-Z.
Yeah, he is.
To be honest with you. I know that's blasphemy for
I
some
think
people,
that's-
but I think Jay-Z is a better rhyme schemer, but I think that Drake is more creative and is a better overall artist
Yeah.
than Jay-Z. So
We'll see. Now I don't think he's gonna stay in hiding though. I really don't. I think he knows it.
I just want him to go away for like a year, man.
He ain't.
The impact is going to feel so good when he comes back. There's so much out right now as competition. I don't want him in Chance's wave at all. I don't want him in J. Cole's wave. Kendrick is the king right now. Like, I want him to go away and come back and be like, yo, by the way, this is still mine if I want it to be mine. And I think it's hard to do that when you're constantly putting out stuff. Just my
Yeah, I
opinion.
feel like he thought that, and then Kendrick came out, and then
But he was still putting out stuff. Like, Views wasn't that long before More Life.
right. But I'm saying More Life competed with Kendrick to be the top spot, and he lost.
I don't think it competed that much. Kendrick's Damn album is like crushing More Life as far as downloads and streams and everything. I'm saying, like, I don't think it's a close
But you
comparison.
said he's gonna come back out and say I'm the king. But I
Right,
think
if he leaves for a long time and comes back and be like, yo, I'm here again, it's gonna create a whole buzz. What? Drake's back?
I agree. It'd be like the Beyonce effect when Beyonce just dropped an album out of nowhere. All of a sudden, all these Beyonce fans came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, it is what it is. I ain't worried. I still like all of his music. I still go back and accept Ice Melts. That song's garbage. That's the one thing that scares me about Drake. Like, come on, Oliver. Come on, 40. You put that out?
That doesn't scare me because it wasn't an album. That would
Anyways.
scare me if it was showed up on an album.
Yeah, if you're reading this, it's already too late. Had nothing that bad.
That's not an album. That was a mixtape.
But I'm trying to say that argument doesn't mean that you can just put out a crappy song. Because if you're reading this, it's already too late, wasn't an album either.
You
but
always
they
say it's
didn't.
already too late.
Whatever. I'm just saying though, he didn't put out anything that crappy on that one. So
I didn't
just
like
because
Madonna. I think Madonna's garbage. You like Madonna? I don't like that song at all. It's pretty bad to me. You having a meltdown? Everyone Toby's having a meltdown.
Dude, I really, really like that song.
Really?
Yeah.
I hated that song. I didn't think it was good.
No. That beat 40 killed that beat with the genuine.
Beat's kind of cool. I think
sample in it?
I think the vocals pretty trash. I think like he
moving
ruined
on.
it
Moving
with his
on.
voice.
Moving on. I don't know.
guys, we're gonna give you our 5 songs of the summer. This is not our top 5. This is just a separate discussion. But we're just gonna call it 5 songs of the
How
summer.
far are we in this podcast? I feel like we've talked a lot. We're
52 minutes in. We can speed round it. All right.
No.
What? No, what are you doing?
Let's just wait next week.
Okay, you don't want to talk about 5 songs of the summer this week. We'll do 5 songs of summer next week then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gives us something. Mainly just because I do want to try to stick in that
Okay,
Hour mark.
Tanner just texted some questions, so we'll save those questions for next week too. We will get into our top 5 Sway in the Morning Freestyles then.
Oh, I was
This'll
going
be
to talk
our-
about Netflix.
Okay, we can
So
talk about Netflix.
That's the only
now.
reason why I didn't do 5 songs of the summer, because I thought we were going to present that just a little bit.
Okay, Netflix, go.
Why are you looking at me like this?
Like what?
You looked at me like the direction I just spoke. Like, you looked at me like, oh, that's what you want to do? Okay, fine.
No,
Let's talk.
I'm talking Netflix. Let's go. You
I'm
want to go
sorry.
Netflix? Let's go.
Anyways, I was just wondering, mainly what I'm thinking, how do you feel about the way TV is being pushed right now?
I don't think you need cable anymore at all. I think that it's not important. I think that everything is talked about in an on-demand platform, and I think that Netflix allowing you to watch things immediately whenever you want to is great. And I think we don't have those attention spans like we used to. People don't crowd around the TV, unless it's sports. People don't crowd around the TV for like events anymore.
Right.
So I feel like Netflix, Hulu, all those type of streaming services are winning huge right now.
The reason why I thought about this is because Netflix says it's going to be investing $8 billion in original content.
I believe it. Because they're
And-
paying people like crazy right now.
And Amazon is pushing for original content too. And so I'm thinking, do you think this is good? Do you think this is going to be slowly we're seeing the change of... Do you think at one point, though, cable is going to be gone?
I hope so, because they gouge you. Like, cable is so expensive for no reason, and they try to put you in bundle packages, and it doesn't make sense for the type of content you're offering because there's no telling that what you like will be on that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so having the option to pick things, even DirecTV, being able to pick the channels you want and stuff like that in certain packages, like being able to give the person an option allows them to feel like they're more in control of where they're spending. So
Now, do you feel like Netflix... I guess the question would be like, how do you feel about Amazon's content over Netflix? And do you think Amazon is eventually going to catch up? 'Cause, I mean, they're a huge corporation too. But
they're huge, but I feel like anytime you are multitasking, you can't do things great. And they are so wide with different things they do. They have the actual Amazon purchasing system. They have the little stores now, the grocery stores. I mean, they do so much as a corporation, and I think it's taken away from their ability to make good cinema projects. And Netflix, that's what they do. This is the
That's it.
genre.
That's all they're
that's what
in
they're
there,
about.
yeah.
So Netflix is oceans and streams above the Amazon content.
I'm wondering too if this is going to change the way people think about releasing movies. Like, I wonder if there's going to be other films out there now, like Sony and Universal and stuff, that have these scripts that they like, but not necessarily want to throw all the millions into it or make it in the theaters and release it on just Netflix. Because I
Yeah.
think a film with... Think about it. We're having a original movie with Will Smith and millions of dollars of a budget to just be straight to Netflix as a movie.
Yeah, people are going to start going that route. And I think I read somewhere that Stranger Things got dropped by like tons of places when they took it places, and then Netflix picked up, and then you see what happened. So it's like, I think that they're going to start ushering in a new wave. And they've got some smart people over there. They just gave Shonda Rhimes, who's the maker of How to Get Away with Murder, Grey's Anatomy, the other show that she's on, and she's the producer for them, and she just signed an exclusive deal with them. And
No way.
yeah, Netflix is taking a lot of like the premier talent away. Dave Chappelle for those 2 hours got 60 million. So it's like, if they do things correctly and don't give out too much money and wind up in debt, then I think they're going to be fine.
Wow.
Personally,
Are you hyped for Defenders?
yeah, I'm like 2 episodes in. So
What, already?
yeah,
How were the first 2 episodes?
First 2 episodes are good, but it's like, it's only eight episodes. So I mean, the story's super slow, and then the last 2 episodes are gonna be like
Crazy.
pretty crazy. But I'm happy anytime I get to see Luke Cage and Daredevil and all those guys. I'm not a Jessica Jones fan, but
No, me neither.
it's hard to watch that one.
That's what's up, man. Well, I just feel like we're living in such an interesting time when it comes to media, when it comes to music, when it comes to entertainment, when TV, movies, and Netflix. Think about it. We've seen them from a DVD distribution company to now becoming one of the top dog for original content in television.
The
and
commercials
movies.
used to come on all the time for
Isn't that wild?
DVDs and games and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was for like the longest time.
My dad had we had Netflix when we were in South Carolina.
Really?
Like it's
That
been
long
around
ago?
for a long time.
Well, I know it's been around that long, but I just didn't know how. Like, I think you might be the only person I know that like was using the service that long ago.
Yeah, because my dad, he's always onto those like weird things sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Netflix is killing cable. Redbox is killing the rental stores.
like from Netflix, bro. I'll tell you, throwback. Netflix. Guess what movie I rented?
Ooh,
Throwback.
Space Jam.
Agent Cody Banks.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So just a little discussion on Netflix. Let us know in the comments down below.
Shout out to Hillary Duff.
What do you think? Wasn't there like a Hillary Duff Appreciation Day or something like that?
Yeah, and I'm here for it. Shout out, girl. What's good?
So, anyways, let us know what you guys think. Do you
Let
like
us
the
know.
direction TV's going? Do you watch cable still? Who watches cable out there?
Do you watch
guys
cable?
watch cable TV shows? Is there any cable TV shows out there? Do you guys want to watch TV on the cable TV shows? Which ones are out there? I think the only ones that people really pay attention to right now are like FX shows. Like
Yo,
American
Snowfall.
Horror.
Have you watched Snowfall yet?
What's that?
It's about crack in the 80s and how like it started infesting like the Compton areas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's a bigger story to it, like the CIA is involved. It's nuts.
Good.
Yeah, but I
think
have to find time to finish.
TV show wise, that's outside cable, like on cable TV. People go crazy when the American Horror Story comes out.
Yeah, they go.
That's an event.
But it'd be even bigger, I feel like, if it was on Netflix because people would binge watch it and go crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, we don't know. It's going to take time for us to tell whether or not the binge watching thing makes as much of an impact against the watching it week to week long form.
Here's what I think is going to happen at some point. Netflix is going to see how it works. 1 week, you get the first half. The second week, you get the second half.
Well, they're already tinkering with that because they did a deal with Chelsea Handler where it's like a regular TV show. Like, it's every Friday you get a new episode. So, I mean, they're already starting to somewhat tinker with it, and I think once they get it right, you'll have your series that are on demand anytime, get it right away, but then you'll have your episodic stuff that takes week to week. We'll see what kind of happens. But
And there's going to be a lot more tests because Netflix just introduced a show. It was an anime, Castlevania.
saw that.
4 episodes. That was it. And then the reaction and the reception was good. And so they're going to continue it. But it was pretty much like a pilot series, honestly, because right when it ended was when it was about to go down.
They did something similar like that with Degrassi because Degrassi cut ties with its like Canadian distributor that was putting it on TV there, and now Netflix like owns
I didn't
and like
know
is
that.
putting out Degrassi.
So shout out to Netflix. Shout out to Netflix. Shout out to Netflix.
Shout out to Netflix.
Shout out to Amazon Prime.
Shout out to Amazon Prime.
TV, man. It's on its way. So let's end this. Not end this, but we're going to get into a conversation. Top 5 Sway in the Morning Freestyles. If you don't know who Sway in the Morning is, he is a hip-hop personality, hip-hop connoisseur, has been in the game for a long time, and he has a radio show on Sirius XM Radio.
Shady.
Sway in the Morning.
Yeah.
What you-
I remember, I love that intro actually. I remember watching him on MTV when he would do MTV News way
yeah,
back.
me too.
Way back with the dreads.
TRL
That was
days?
dope. Yeah, man.
So, I actually have mine in an order.
Okay.
I ranked mine. Start this off at number 5 for me. I got Logic.
Okay, he killed it.
I thought Logic did a good job because I felt Logic actually freestyled.
Yes, he did.
He freestyled and he did a good job throwing in and just being, people in the room and stuff. I mean, the dude can spit. We've seen it. If you guys, there's a viral video that went around last week, or was it? Yeah, it was last week, I believe. But with Joey, and him just freestyling together. The dude can spit. He can spit off the top of his head.
Yep.
So he is a good freestyle, and I wanted to give him his props. I like this dude a lot. So number 5, Logic.
I will say Lupe Fiasco.
I got him too.
I think he killed it.
Actually, he's my number 4.
I think he's my number 5 just because I love Lupe. Like, I'm a Lupe guy, so
Yeah.
I'm here for it. But he killed it. I think his delivery is so effortless. It doesn't even seem like he's like
seamless.
It's just like he's talking. But I
Plain.
still feel like a lot of it was off the dome too.
It was.
But it's just
He made up words,
he doesn't-
remember?
Yeah, yeah, that was the best part. He just it's just so effortless for people like him. So Lupe Fiasco.
Number 4, Lupe Fiasco. That's what I got too. So I'm gonna do my number. Actually, hit yours next. Just hit your next one.
All right, my next one is gonna be the Eminem freestyle.
Ooh.
Eminem killed it. It was super impromptu. That Eminem owned the shady Sirius station, but when he pops up, it's always a surprise because Eminem's like a superstar. But yeah, he just bodied it honestly and just kept going. I love when rappers go and then they take a break and then just like go back on the beat. So Eminem killed it for me.
Eminem. Number 3 might be a surprise to you, but
right.
I felt like he came through out of nowhere, and this is kind of when I really started paying attention to this dude, Lil Dicky.
It's on mine too. He's on mine too. Lil
Lil
Dicky's was
Dicky
great.
killed
He
it.
killed it. He killed that and the LA Leakers. But this was good too.
Like, he smashed that record.
Lil Dicky's on mine too.
He murdered that. So I'm gonna say, if you haven't heard it, like, he's a jokester, but he has bars.
It's comedian hip hop, but it's funny. It's really good though.
His wordplay is great. I like his delivery. I like Lil Dicky. I really do. I think he's smart. Anyways, Lil Dicky, number 3.
I will go with Papoose.
Okay.
This was from like 2 years ago, and he spazzed out. He is really good at rapping.
Yeah, he
but he
is.
just never like something couldn't click. Whether it was marketing, whether it was his personality isn't big enough to be a star or whatever. But he's good.
I
He's
remember,
good.
dude, freshman year, like, his mixtapes on Dat Piff, I listened to him, and he had this, like, ABC freestyle that he did, like,
Yeah.
a written thing. Dude, it was crazy. He would rap only in A's, and then only in B's, and then only
Yeah.
in C's, and only. I was like, wow, this dude's nuts. But he couldn't make hit songs to save his life.
Right.
Number 2 for me, King Los.
Killed it. Absolutely killed it.
Best freestyler, in my opinion. Like,
Probably. I mean, I don't.
he's the best freestyler. I don't know. He's had multiple. There's multiple YouTube videos of him interviewing and freestyling. Like,
Yeah.
the dude is nuts. Even Kendrick Lamar said the only person who did that challenge or whatever, the control verse Justice, or like who killed it, King Los. King Los is ridiculous.
I agree.
Very, very, very underrated.
I agree. Childish Gambino. I loved his.
Pound Cake.
Yeah.
That's number 1. That's number 1 for me.
He killed it. Childish Gambino.
It sounds like a song. That's how good it is.
And he's one of those effortless ones too.
Yeah, remember he's
It's
just
super,
talking.
It's super topical.
He's like, they're talking about money, and then, but then they always be like, none about the moolah, and he gets just right back into the flow of things, and you're like, what did he just do?
Yeah, Childish Gambino. It's
And then he even made, like, Kendrick made millions, I'd make millions.
yeah. He like shows
freaking
that he
spaz.
shows that he knows the song that you're playing. Like, he knows the actual content within the beat you're rapping over enough to, off the top of the dome, you didn't know he was gonna play that, but you can flip a scheme that Drake had in the song. It's just, it's pretty crazy.
Dude,
So,
he
Gambino.
murdered that. Gambino's number 1 for me, man. That's it. That's all my 5.
Gambino's amazing. I also put honorable mention. This is my 5th one, but I'm not really ranking him. But Chris Rivers, he's Big Pun's son. Like 3 years ago, he put out one.
I haven't seen him.
He just, oh my gosh. His problem is marketing too, because he sounds too much like his dad.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, he had the hype when he was a teenager, and people were like, "Huh, you want to rap?" And so he raps, but he's like a caricature of his dad, so he'll never like be
That
a
makes
star.
sense.
But he absolutely murdered it too. So
Nice. And shout out to Shia LaBeouf.
yeah, I
One
almost
of the
put
most
Shia LaBeouf.
virals.
I almost put Shia LaBeouf on
We
my
almost
list
put him just
it's
because,
funny.
like,
no one expected it, but at the same time you're like, but when you
Yeah,
compare,
like I had to look at like the actual quality and be
right,
like,
exactly.
no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that."
Exactly.
Yeah. Guys, this is episode 29. We're about to close out, but we're going to close out in the only way that we know how, and that is 101 conversation starters for couples.
Recall a time when you were given constructive criticism that proved beneficial.
Oh, man. All the time.
Ooh, I gotta think of a specific one.
That's why people tell me I mess up all the time, so it's kind of hard for me to think of. Let's see here. I think it would be work related right now is like the quickest thing for me to think of, just because quality matters and you can't rush through things. And if you want something done right, you can't just halfway do it.
Yeah.
So I would say like the criticism that I've received, and this not necessarily from work, but just overall in life, is like, you can't sloppily do something just to get it done. If it takes the long way, it takes a long way. But yeah.
That's a good point. I'm trying to think of a moment. I think a moment, it wasn't professional, like, constructive criticism. I mean, in projects I've done, I've always gotten constructive criticism, but I think I'm thinking of like my character and personality and stuff like that. But I'll always remember when one of my teachers, when I was having a hard time at school, he just was like, he pulled me aside and just asked how I was doing, and he said, "You seem like a ship with no anchor." And I don't know why I always remembered that. And he's like, "You need to make sure you have that foundation, like, so you're not, feel like you're getting tossed in the waves
good.
and stuff." And, of course we talked about my relationship with God and stuff at that moment, but, just, it was cool because it just showed, I had people that cared. So,
That's good.
it was man. So definitely, definitely,
Guys,
definitely.
episode 29 is in the books officially.
Let's go,
We
Dag.
did it.
It's in,
We did it.
it's in the books, Dag.
Did it. 29.
Episode 29's in the books, Dag. Can't
29's
believe it.
all over.
Can't believe it.
There's no more episode 29.
That's it.
No more.
If you haven't listened to 1 through 28, go back.
Yep.
Listen to all of them, Dag.
Where would they find that at,
They
if
can
want
find
to
that on
listen to?
YouTube. They can
YouTube?
find it on maybe Stitcher. Not sure yet.
Maybe.
They can find it on iTunes.
iTunes.
So,
Get familiar.
ladies and gentlemen, this is the Daps and Pound Show.
My name is Malky, as always. To my right, we have...
Dobie,
We represent 2 mics
2 friends.
and 1 show.
The Daps and Pound Show.
Oh, episode 29. Shouts to the shout out.
Gang, gang, gang. Blah.